Hello, podcastlers, and welcome to another episode of the NHC Podcast. On today's episode, I'm joined by Armin
Hello.
and special guests Rick Raptor 105,
Hello.
Joshua Knuppe,
Hello there.
Stream, and Edaphosaurus.
Hello, I am Edaphosaurus from the Edaphosaurus YouTube channel and the Edaphosaurus Twitter account.
And we're also joined by zoologist and adventurer Nigel Marvin.
I am zoologist and adventurer Nigel Marvin.
Thank you, Nigel. Right, so as you've already noticed, obviously today's episode will be about Megalodon. First we'll be discussing obviously an overview of what Megalodon is and the science behind it, and then as usual we'll go into one particularly interesting misconception about this taxon, and then some of its paleoart and paleomedia. So Megalodon was first named in 1827 by one James Sowerby. The name means big tooth, the etymology being megalo for big and don for tooth. Fossils of this genus have been found all over the world. A particularly high concentration has been in Italy, which covers its record for a lot of its time span. Now, as a result of all of this extensive fossil sampling that we've got for this genus, we've got a particularly good idea of what it looks like as well. So I'll just share an image of one of the specimens now, and you can see how we've actually been able to amass quite a lot of information about it. As you
I
can
think
see,
the most it's not only about Megalodon that it's also found in Austria, so it's always a plus for me, considering I'm Austrian.
Of course.
And we don't get many awesome and outstanding taxa over here. So it's nice to have something as awe-inspiring as Megalodon found in our country.
Yeah, definitely. No.
And Nigel, tell us what you think about Megalodon.
That name Megalodon, what it means big tooth. And I don't think I need to explain why.
Thank you, Nigel.
I can't agree more.
Yes. In addition to obviously having this perfect picture of what Megalodon would have looked like, and we can make some very good deductions about its life appearance just from how spectacularly preserved it is, we also have a good idea of its phylogeny. So Megalodon belongs to a group known as the Megalodontids, which in turn belong to a group called the Megalodontoids. Now, the Megalodontoids are a sister group to the Rudists, and both are heterodont bivalves. Now, the other very interesting thing about Megalodon, of course, is its fossil time span. We've got a very extensive record spanning from the Devonian through to the Jurassic. So naturally, it truly won at evolution. It was one of the most successful animals of all time.
It was the ultimate organism, one could say.
Yeah.
The ultimate life form.
However,
one has to respect its related taxa, of course. If you look into a Megalodon today, you have a lot of very successful animals, like Pachymegalodon, for example.
Or Neomegalodon and Protomegalodon as well.
Yeah, you've also got Eomegalodus and Smegalodon.
Oh, I wonder what the etymology for that one is.
We also have help me pronounce this one. Quemocnomegalodon, described in 2003.
Yes, that is correct.
So as you can see, not only was Megalodon itself very successful, its related taxa were widespread and formidable as well.
Yes. In fact, speaking of its spread, there's actually one misconception relating to its spread, the spread of the genus Megalodon through time. Would you like to say more about that?
Of course. As discussed, Megalodon has an extensive spread through time. You've got Devonian taxa from Austria, Canada, Germany, and Italy. But you also find it throughout the Permian, the Triassic, up to the Jurassic, so halfway through the Mesozoic. And look at this, you can see how it survived two massive major extinction events. Of course, the Permian mass extinction, the Great Dying, which annihilated most of life on Earth, and of course the Triassic-Jurassic mass extinction. So given that the oceans are still very much unexplored in many areas, and also, of course, very deep. And since Megalodon isn't a mammal or a reptile, it doesn't have to come up to breathe. So I think it's very likely that it could still remain undiscovered down in, let's say, the Mariana Trench or something. And obviously, like we discussed, it survived 2 mass extinctions, so I don't see what's keeping it from surviving KPG even.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, the fossil record shows that this was. It's just impossible to even consider that it would have gone extinct at any point before now.
Yeah.
And it's only a matter of time.
It could easily be a ghost lineage like the coelacanth.
Yes, definitely. I'd say honestly, when we finally discover one of the surviving Megalodon individuals, that will definitely be like up there in terms of scientific discoveries. Like, clearly the same level. But yeah, I think we've given a particularly extensive cover of this genus's history, its fossil history, and also its history of discovery and its various phylogenetic implications. So I think now it's time to move on to some of the appearances it has made in the media. Before we get into paleomedia, Armin, would you like to share some of the retro paleo art it has appeared in?
Oh yes, of course. Like always, I scorched my books, my magazines for mentions and appearances of Megalodon. Sassy, stop fucking typing.
You idiot!
God, you made Nigel angry.
Right.
Anyways,
yes.
Yeah, I looked through my books and magazines, and boy, there was a lot to cover. I'm pretty sure like half of the material I had at home featured Megalodon in some sort of shape or form. So I just picked out the best ones, which I'm gonna post right now.
Right, so moving on to paleomedia. Megalodon has had many paleomedia appearances, so many. This genus is just so popular. But we're going to have to limit our number of paleomedia discussions because of time. And so I think that today we'll just discuss one paleomedia appearance. Its highlight, its standout, clearly the peak of its representation. And I'll just share a picture. This is from a video game, actually, so not a movie or television, but I think this video game has had so much more outreach. The video game in question being Dinosaur Simulator on Roblox, which I'm sure everyone has played at some point in their life.
I mean, it's a platinum seller at this point.
Absolutely. So here's a depiction. As you can see, it's very faithful to the actual animal. They clearly studied many fossils and skeletals that are available.
Yeah. I quite enjoy the fact that they added pearls, which, of course, we don't have evidence for it, but given modern mollusks, it seems likely that Megalodon would have done similar things.
Definitely. Yeah. So it was added to the game on November 25th, 2017, so almost 3 years ago now. And it really changed the game.
Yeah, I think it has like the biggest player base on the entire platform, so
definitely. So yeah, that's Dinosaur Simulator Roblox. Check it out. Obviously, we'll be putting a link in the description below. And yeah, I think this pretty much wraps up the episode for today.
Yeah, any closing thoughts, Nigel?
We couldn't be sure how Megalodon would behave. In the end, I had to agree.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's very insightful and really brings it all back together. So thank you for that, Nigel. And thank you all for watching. And thank you again to RickRaptor105, Joshua Knoop,
thank you for having me on the show.
And of course, zoologist and adventurer Nigel Marvin.
I am zoologist and adventurer Nigel Marvin.
That's it, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
What the hell just happened?
Thank you.
Joshua, now you can go back to your drawing if you want.
Right. Let me just get some water and prepare myself.
Okay.
Somebody has to go to the toilet.
To take like 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Prepare ourselves. Right, so I'll just. Which order should I know? That never doesn't matter.
What?
Where's Rick Raptor typing? Hello, Pot. Thank you, Rick. I'm my cue.
This is all staying in, isn't it?
Hey, well, this is the post credits bit. Okay, so
There's a post-credit scene where Nigel Marvin asks you about wanting to join the Avengers Initiative.
I'll just apologize, Mr. Marvin. I'm sorry you have to go for this. Usually we are better prepared than that.
yes. Okay,
You're
so
not.
after this- Shut up.